Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. Yeah, welcome back. Thursday night vibes. Is it Thursday? It's Monday. Monday night vibes. How we doing out there tonight, man? Let's go, man. Let's have some fun. Bring that energy. Man, preseason is still lit. It's still going on. But let me bring in my co-host, 2-3 Drees tonight. We're going to have some fun,
What's
man.
What's up?
If you haven't noticed, Drees, man, this preseason has been one of the most exciting preseasons that we have ever witnessed since I've been a part of football. It is exciting. It is going down. I mean, it is intense. It's like tonight. Joe Burrows is out there
to almost that time.
The regular season game. He is trying to win. Jayden Daniels won't slide. He's going in head first and scaring everybody. Man, this preseason lit, man. I don't know if we can ever copy this one.
I don't know, man.
Stand up to this one, man.
Yeah. It's definitely been entertaining, but another week of preseason down mean that's one more week closer to week one.
Week one, Thursday night. The defending champions against the Dallas Cowboys. I can't wait, man. That's gonna be lit, man. But I got something, man. I don't want y'all to be alarmed. I got a little procedure coming up I have to take care of. I don't want to tell y'all yet or show y'all. I'm definitely not gonna show y'all right now because it's ugly. It's cosmetic. So y'all see me posting a picture of me in the hospital or something like that, man. I'm getting a little procedure, man. Just pray for you, boy. Nothing,
sure.
Nothing to worry about. It's something cosmetic, and I don't want to show y'all. It's a little ugly right now. It's a little ugly, man. So I ain't gonna show y'all just yet, man. But welcome back to the show, man. Let's get into this thing, man. Bengals versus the Commanders, man. What do we think? Preseason, everybody's knocking off the dust and the rust and trying to get ready for the regular season. And the Bengals are taking a different approach this preseason with the starters. I guess they're hoping to land different results for the regular season compared to past seasons. And we've seen Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the rest of the game. We're out there putting work in these last two preseason games. They playing hard and they going at it, baby. If the Bengals don't fix that terrible ass defense, they will never get back to going.
Nothing problem.
Will not matter.
That's the problem. It ain't Joe Burrow getting the ball to Jamar Chase. We can see that. That works every time.
That works every time. Fine. I'm sure Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase, they'll have 5,000, 6,000 yards, whatever they want to have. Mm-hmm. But that ain't the problem. If they don't fix that sorry-ass defense, they ain't going nowhere. You know what it looks like to me, Drees? You know what it looks like?
What is that?
It looks like the Bengals work strictly on passing situations in practice. That's it. The Bengals go to practice just to work on pass plays. They skip right over 7-on-7 and other run periods just to get back to the pass skeleton and one-on-ones with Jamar Chase. That's all they work on. They forget the doggone run. They ain't worried about playing physical. They are not worried about that. They are worried about their skilled players looking pretty and entertaining the crowd. That's all I can see.
Man, listen,
I
was gonna say the first quarter with the defense out there. I mean, they averaged Washington averaged 18 yards a carry. 18 yards a carry in the first quarter.
Pathetic.
18 yards a carry? That's crazy.
It don't matter how many yards Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase pass and catch for, as terrible as the Bengals defense is. And the problem is they're worried about the skill position. They're worried about selling tickets and entertaining. Mm-hmm. They don't play physical football on offense or defense. They don't run the ball well on offense, nor do they play physical up front on neither side of the football. And that's the issue, as we seen tonight. Those gaps for the Bengals defense were big. Anybody could have ran through these holes. A big tractor trailer. You know what I mean? All the physical aspects of the game are missing from the Cincinnati Bengals. Every physical aspect of the game is totally missing. They want to play 7-on-7. 11-on-11 pass scale. Sorry, 7-on-7, whatever you call it. Mm-hmm. They want to play pass scale.
I ain't gonna lie, that first drive, I think they was like 4th and 1, and they ran the ball. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be a pass. They surprised.
Yeah, I mean, that's still you trying to establish your physical presence, but like you said, on that first drive,
they don't usually do that.
They had to go for it on 4th down two times.
Mm-hmm.
4th down 2 times in the preseason game. I mean, they gotta work on being a more of a physical team. Starting up front, they gotta go get the big hauls, the offensive linemen and defensive linemen. That's how you build a physical team. And on defense, man, the Bengals defense is probably the worst tackling unit in the NFL. They probably are.
Mm-hmm.
They rank like 30th total defense or something like that. It's horrible. The Bengals got embarrassed in a preseason game tonight, looking like they don't understand fundamental football on defense. They got embarrassed in a preseason game. I'm sure the head coach, Zach Taylor, is going off on his team. He is ripping them apart because that is pathetic. If he isn't, and he is talking to his team as if this is just a preseason game, don't worry about it, we'll get better, get rid of him too. Get rid of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Every play worked that is called against the Bengals defense. Everything works. The simplest run dive play goes for 20 yards. Jayden Daniels take off with the ball. Freaking DBs are scared to tackle him. They sliding all over the place.
You scared for Jayden Daniels, but it's like he wasn't scared. He know why. He can't tackle.
Yeah, that was a little touchy situations. Like, hey, brother, this is the preseason. Get down.
Yeah.
Don't scare us like this, you know? And it's sad because it's like the Bengals just think Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow can win these games on offense by themselves and don't have a defense out there to help them out. They can't do it by themselves, you know? And it's terrible.
I don't know if you...
Now, the question is to everybody and you, Drees, will Jayden Daniels dethrone the Eagles this season in the NFC East?
Come on, don't ask me that question. You gotta go on my head. He was against the Bengals last year. I'm putting it to this. Last year when they played in a real game, the Washington Commanders scored on every single possession. Like they scored on, like you don't really see that. And the same thing happened today. If the Stars would have played, they would have scored on every single possession again. So that did like I saw them do it in real time last year against the same team. So that was like nothing to be like, oh no, the Commanders are coming. No, man, I feel like it'll be the same results as last year.
Man, both games last season were pretty close. And Jayden Daniels was just a rookie.
Yeah.
If he could overcome some of those challenges, like you say he faced last season being a rookie, man, he has a really good chance to beat the Eagles. He got a really good chance to beat our Eagles, man.
I did hear him say, he was like, man, I feel way more comfortable this year than he did last year.
Exactly. So that's a little. When players say the game is slowing down to them, you have to understand they see this game in different light. They are able to make the plays, and you see, like him running for that touchdown tonight seems so easy because maybe the game is slowing down that much to him, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, the Eagles are a more talented team than the Commanders on offense and defense. That's the difference. The play at quarterback, it's debatable who's outplaying who. Of course, Saquon Barkley gets the nod at running back 5 times over, however you want to, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Jayden Daniels can make the plays to match the Eagles offense. But eventually the Eagles defense will win the battle before the Commanders defense does. And that's what I mean by the more talented team and things like that. I think Jayden Daniels, like you said, he can go toe for toe with the Eagles offense. But eventually the Eagles defense will take over from the physical nature of them. You know what I mean?
We still need that. I'm worried about Eagles defense is that corner. The other corner, man.
Yeah.
You don't know who the starter is yet. They ain't announced the starter. It's still battling to the last day.
Don't be surprised now. We're going to talk about the Eagles now. Don't be surprised if that worry is gone in a few days. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
But if Jayden Daniels continue to make progress, man, and build off that rookie campaign, it can get scary for the NFC East and for the NFL, period. You know, as a rookie, Jayden Daniels, this young man was really, really good. So if he could somehow make progress, it just be scary to watch. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah, he definitely believed McLaurin gonna be there too.
Yeah, McLaurin. Yeah,
he gonna. It sound like the way he was talking today. He know that he's going to be there soon.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer McLaurin got. Terry McLaurin, he can be an elite receiver. He's barely missing that 1,000-yard mark and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to make this team better, you know, you get signing Deebo Samuel and things like that. That's okay, but they need to land a dynamic rookie receiver in the draft. If they can land one of these dynamic rookie receivers to go along with Jayden Daniels, let him build with him, man, that will make Jayden Daniels and the Commanders dangerous and hard to defend. The Commanders is a team that can definitely ruin a season. So the Eagles cannot slip. It just so happened these two teams are in the same division. They are a great team. These teams are going to be going at it for years to come. Jayden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. This will be a rivalry for years to come. And what makes them so good is how effective Jayden Daniels is with his arm and legs. They're about even.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing he does better. The arm and his legs are pretty much the same. He can take the breath out of a defense with his legs. On third down, second down, you think him got
fourth
him
down too.
You think you got him covered. You think you got him cornered in. No way. You know what I mean? Your defense think you got the perfect defense, and he somehow finds a way to win. And that can really become discouraging to a freaking defense. You're on third down, you want to get off the field, go to the sideline, get you some Gatorades, rest, all that good stuff. And a guy like Jayden Daniels continue to spoil your third downs and don't get the defense off the field. That's what Jayden Daniels can do, man.
He definitely do, man.
Daniels can do.
He had so many comebacks last year, and he showed that he got that clutch gene. A lot of these quarterbacks, man, they can throw for 4,000 yards, but when it comes to third down or fourth down, they can't convert. He's one of those quarterbacks who's going to convert
and win the game. Exactly. I think they finished 10-5, what they finished last year. I don't know, something like that. But they
and the NFC Championship. They went all the way to the NFC Championship. So that's a big deal.
The NFC Championship. They definitely had a winning record, and it surprised the whole NFL. This rookie, man. So I see him going. I see him continuing to get better. And the good thing about it, he has a really good, solid coach with Dan Quinn behind him. That's going to always put together a good defense. You know what I mean? So since we're talking about it, Super Bowl champs, the Eagles. The Eagles trade for this receiver, John Metchie. I don't know if y'all know about John Metchie, but let me tell you, he is definitely elite, you know. Howie and the Eagles, they continue to add players to make the team better. Thanks to the man, the general manager of the decade, Howie Roseman.
You can't even guess it. Can't even guess that. Who would have guessed that? Nobody.
Guessed that. Nobody makes trades that are impactful like the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody makes trades that are more impactful than the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. The Eagles, I don't know if y'all know, they have 13 draft picks heading into the 2026 NFL draft. That's 6 more draft picks than usual, right? Now, what's the significance about that? Put it like this. If 13 players are drafted by the Eagles in the coming draft, that means 13 spots need to be available for these new rookies coming in. 13 roster spots need to be available. And that's not going to happen because the Eagles are not in rebuilding stage. Howie understands he doesn't need that many draft picks, especially after winning the Super Bowl. It's not time to rebuild. It's not time to rebuild. It's time to get better, you know? 13 picks would be perfect if that was the case and it was time to rebuild.
All right.
The next best thing to do when you have all these draft picks is what?
Get some value for it. Trade them away.
5 players who can make the team better by way of trade. And that's exactly what Howie was doing. Don't think he's just up here just sitting around thinking, okay, let me make a trade to give some draft picks away. No, he's moving strategically. And we're going to check out a little history on Howie in the draft. Y'all can see right there, next year's draft. These are all the draft picks he have in each round. Round 1 got 1 draft pick. Round 2 got 1 draft pick. Round 3, there are 3 draft picks in round 3, 2 and 4. And is that 5 and 5? 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5, 1 and 6, and 1 and 7. So he has all these draft picks to make the team better. That's the difference in Howie. Difference in Howie is the difference in Howie and other general managers is Howie understands what players still possess that same talent that got them drafted to the NFL. He understands how to find these players and how to identify these players. Howie isn't getting caught up with the big names, the big name talents that aren't as talented as they once were. Instead, he understands what players still have that athletic ability as well as that speed and explosiveness that you need to play at a high level in the NFL. John Metchie, the third, is a legit deep threat, and he could take the top off of a defense. I mean, he could take the ball to the house from anywhere on the football field, and I'm sure Howie Roseman knows that and understands that. John Metchie is one of them players. Now, we're talking about Howie and making trades. Notable players. We're talking about Howie and how great of a general manager he has been. Notable players. Howie traded for. Who's the most significant, the specialist trade, the most awesome trade player that he traded for? Let me see who your guess is, Dries. Name one.
I say most recent gotta be AJ Brown.
Not Saquon Barkley?
That was a free agent pickup. That wasn't a trade.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's a free agent pickup.
That's
but
right.
Like a trade was that actually
AJ Brown, Big Play Slay.
Yep. And
Darren
that year
Sproles.
he had 3 first-round picks. Like, how you get 3 first-round picks?
Yeah.
That's because he be moving
for the Giants, man. How do you think the Giants feel, man? All season they let Saquon Barkley go in free agency. I guess pennies on the dollar. You know, the Eagles got him at a low market value, and to watch him go off like that and help lead his team to the Super Bowl, that has to feel, that has to hurt in the gut for the New York Giants, man.
But what made
because
that worse?
They drafted him the top 5 overall, and he didn't pan out that way for them. That really has to suck for them, you know.
But another thing is they was on Hard Knocks trying to play him on the phone. Like, so they publicly tried to tell him, like, you're not worth the money. We want Daniel Jones worth the money. And look how that turned out. Daniel Jones missed a wide open receiver. He missed my man Tyler Warren the other day. I'm like, I told you Tyler Warren gonna be rookie of the year. He was wide open down the sideline. He missed him. I'm like, damn, man, he ain't gonna get no chance to get rookie of the year now. Y'all can't hit him wide open.
Along with some of those players that the Eagles be trading for, you know, sometimes you just make a trade. Might trade a player away and get some draft picks, or you might get future draft picks, whatever. And you know, all those players that the Eagles acquired from those draft picks speaks for itself. So Howie is doing his thing, man. You got Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, so many people, so many draft picks that Howie has acquired. And he's turning up, man. Howie has a good system going in Philly, man.
Yeah.
That fits Philadelphia's rowdy fans, crowd, the city. He has a great system. So
this the players he got back from Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz wasn't working out for the Eagles, he had the high contract and everything. That's what he got back for trading away Carson Wentz to the Colts. He got Devontae Smith from that, AJ Brown, Kyron Johnson. He ain't really work out, but Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Hunt, and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So he got like 7 players that's actually
Jalen Carter, Devontae Smith. That's all you need right there.
AJ Brown in there too.
AJ Brown too man. Off of that one trade from Carson Wentz, he acquired all these top talents to help his team win a Super Bowl. That is amazing. So make sure we understand. Carson Wentz had this high contract. You had to pay him a lot of money. He was injury prone. He wasn't working out. What does the great Howie Roseman do? He finds someone that wants to trade and someone that would trade for Carson Wentz. He trades for Carson Wentz and acquires all these draft picks. And all these draft picks that come from Carson Wentz is A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter. Who else? Am I missing anyone?
Cooper DeJean and Jalen
Cooper DeJean. That's amazing. That is amazing, man. That is amazing. And this trade for John Metchie is excellent. No one can see it now. It's excellent. And I don't think they're done yet. I think there are more trades to come from the Eagles. Metchie brings another level of acceleration to the receiver position for the Eagles. He's probably the fastest and quickest on the team right now. Eagles general manager Howie Roseman will go down, like I said, making the best trades in the NFL. Metchie has had some health issues to deal with. And that's kind of held him back from being so productive. He was dealing with some health issues. I'm not going to try to diagnose or say what they reported those diagnoses to be, whatever. You know what I mean? But to have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and John Metchie on the field at the same time, that is dangerous, and that is scary for a defense to have to deal with, man. He will add a different dynamic to that offense for deep passes. And Jalen Hurts, man, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary.
Devontae Smith, that's one of Devontae Smith best friends. I mean, they was teammates in college. They got a chemistry together, man. They know how each other work. I guarantee, like, the communication and building that bond going to be easier, get him equipped to the team and everything. So I'm excited to see how to turn out.
Yeah, and like we talked about, big play Slay is gone. Quinyon Mitchell is there. The Eagles are known. The Eagles are known for having two really good cover starting cornerbacks for the team, dating back to the days of Troy Vincent and Hall of Famer Bobby Taylor. Right now, they don't have two elite starting cover corners right now. There's only Quinyon Mitchell, right? They had Bobby Taylor, Troy Vincent. Then they had Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown, go along with myself. Then came Big Play Slay and Quinyon Mitchell. Now, like I said, Big Play Slay is now with the Steelers. So watch out for Howie looking to trade for a cornerback. And I think it may be Denzel Ward or Tyreek Woolen.
You think he could pull that off?
Woolen. I think he'll pull one of those off because I'm telling you, the Eagles always have two elite cornerbacks. It's something about that's just something that's in their tradition, and Howie continue to carry that along. So I can see him pulling that off, man. I can see. I don't know how happy the Seahawks are with Tyreek Woolen. They understand that he is an asset, of course, and Howie understands the potential and the athleticism and the skills that Tyreek Woolen has. Despite all that stuff that people get mad at in the locker room and stuff, Tyreek Woolen can ball. You know what I mean? Right. Whether he blows the coverage or busts coverage, that's a whole different story. Got to get him coached up right. But, you know, I think Tyreek Woolen would be a really good fit and someone that brings that playmaking aspect to the cornerback position, getting his hands on a lot of footballs. If you didn't know, he used to be a receiver, just like Richard Sherman. So watch out for Howie Roseman and the Eagles making a play coming up soon.
I don't know. I think the GM is starting to like the hate on him because he gets so much love. Everybody say how good he is. So I think some people are like, oh no, he ain't. I seen like during the draft, he was like calling Washington. Washington's like, oh no, we ain't doing that again because we got Jahan Dotson last year right before the season started. So I don't know if you can pull that off.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I think I say he don't get caught up in the big names. He understands talent, the speed, you know, and
especially Denzel Ward. He just had a great. They did the joint practice. Denzel Ward he had a good matchup against Devontae Smith, and they was doing like one-on-ones and everything. So I don't know.
So
I don't know if the Browns.
But for John Metchie, there's like watch how productive he be and watch how much he contributes to the Eagles' offense and stuff like that. But there is no reason to trade for John Metchie. If you look at his production in his past and stuff like that, there is no reason to trade for him. He understands. Howie understands players that can still play that just haven't got their chance or for some reason getting overlooked. So this is a great pickup. It will pan out and it will make Jalen Hurts that more dangerous. You know, to make it that more dangerous. Simple as that.
You said that. If you just look at Zach Bond from last year, he was a special teams player in New Orleans, and this year he's all pro defensive player of the year finalist.
There you go. You know, just need somebody to believe in you sometimes. And that's probably the issues with Tyreek Woolen. I hear they are riding him left and right. Man, this man is 6'5", 200 plus pounds, running 4.3, 4.4, long wingspan. Man, if you can't coach that up, you basically can't coach. That's easy. That's easy work right there. You know,
you had him in the top 5, right?
Yeah, top 10. He might be top 5. Yeah, he might be top 5. There's nobody out there that's making. I mean, he's probably the number one ball skills as far as ball skills at cornerback and things like that. Him, maybe Derek Stingley Jr. Things like that. But if y'all been sleeping under a rock, hiding up under a tree or something, and haven't heard, Kevin Stefanski finally named the starting quarterback for week 1. And if you don't know and you haven't heard and you've been hiding up under a tree, Joe Flacco is the lucky contestant to be the winner of week 1 starting quarterback's job. Yes, Joe Flacco. Clap it up for Joe Flacco. The 43-year-old, 45-year-old quarterback has won the starting job. Wow, can you believe that? The only reason I see Kevin Stefanski hesitant to announce who the backup quarterback is week 1 is to protect Dylan Gabriel, because that's what everyone is waiting on. Everyone understands and probably understood that Joe Flacco probably would be named the starting quarterback week 1, but who is the backup quarterback? I know the depth chart came out in this list. I don't know how official that is. He didn't physically come out of his mouth and say it. You know, he needs to have a press conference and say who is the backup quarterback. Right? This is not about protecting athletes and their feelings and so on and so forth. Yes, they have a job. Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, they have a job and they have a boss and they have people to answer to. So, of course, they want to protect their job and they don't want to look bad. So they are protecting this situation and trying to keep the noise down, you know? Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry knows Shedeur Sanders earned that right to be the backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. But for some reason, everything is being put on the back burner. They're slowing it down. They're not talking to the media how they usually talk to the media about the quarterbacks and competition, you know? But Joe Flacco being the quarterback, I already talked about that. He's only going to last 5 plays.
5 plays
during the season.
Man, you gave him 5 games.
5 plays. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm about to say you gave him 5 games before. I think you changed it.
He's only going to last 5 games. 5 games is the maximum amount that Joe Flacco's body can endure these at the age of how old he is. And think about this. Look at it like this. Joe Flacco's last 5 seasons playing football have all been in a backup role. Backup or emergency role. Joe Flacco's last 5 seasons. That's how he's holding on. He's holding on by an emergency role or a backup role.
Do he even want to be the starter?
Huh?
Do he even want to be the starter?
I don't think he does. That's the whole point. I'm sure he doesn't mind not being the starter and handing it over. Look at Flacco's last 5 seasons from 2020. Starting from 2020, it shows Joe Flacco role in those last 5 seasons. If you see games played and games started right here with my cursor, 6 games, 5 games, 4 games, and 1 game. I told you. He only played in an emergency role or a backup role. 2 seasons ago, in particular, when Flacco was pretty much retired from the NFL, the Browns had just signed him from off the streets. The Browns are naming their starting quarterback someone that was just signed off the streets. Think about that. Let that sink in.
He was
this is what this organization is dealing with.
He was like the fourth option that time. They had like 3 injuries, and then they just like had to find a quarterback, and they just found him. And now he's starting this year.
He's like only one of the quarterbacks left out there that's out on the streets that could possibly get something done in the NFL. Like, you know, he probably was like a week away from turning that deal down, like getting into his other life, you know.
Right.
But when they signed him, he shocked the world. He shocked the football community because he went 4-1 and the Browns went to the playoffs. I think they went to the playoffs, so on and so forth. So fresh legs came in there and fooled everybody. Those fresh legs, everybody else worn down, fresh legs came in there and did the job. And that led to the coach signing Flacco this past offseason, which ended up in a disaster, if y'all didn't know. Same thing the Browns are thinking. The coach was thinking the same thing. And that ended up in a disaster. Flacco started 6 games for the Colts, leading the Colts to what? Y'all know the record? 6 games. How many games do you think he won?
2.
2. To a 2-4 record. Joe Flacco leads the Colts to a 2-4 record. I think he played 8 games or whatever. And now we're here with the Cleveland Browns. Flacco is stealing checks from these people with no mask. I told you, man, this is a robbery with no ski mask, no weapon or anything. This is a straight, give me your money. And they handing it over. You know? I say Joe Flacco gonna last the maximum 5 games into the season. Y'all tell me what y'all think. How long y'all think he got? Anybody think he can last 10 games out there?
No, I actually like watching him. Like the preseason went on since he first said that. I think it might be less. I think it might be less.
I really believe he wants to hand that over. Like, man, listen, man, Shedeur Sanders, you can take this job, man. Dillon Gabriel is like he want to be a mentor backup. Listen, man, when you're this old and you made your money and you're just there for the check, you don't care like you used to. That's just human nature. It's hard to physically care when you've been at it so long and you've been removed from the game to the streets. And you coming back is like, you know, you're all over the place. It's hard to get focused.
Mm-hmm. But speaking about that, no, I was gonna say like during the game last week when Dillon Gabriel was playing, like it was a middle in like in-game conversation. They asked Dillon Gabriel about him competing for like the starting job. He said, "I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to compete." Is that a shot?
Everybody was trying to understand if that was a shot or not. I didn't look at it as a shot. At first, I was like, no, that's not a shot, man. He's talking about overall, like you got entertainers and then you got competitors. And then I thought back and I sat back and I was like, man, they possibly could be taking a shot. But I just didn't think he would be taking a shot on that stage and that platform at that time. So I watched it as, I chopped it up as him not taking a shot. It's just he's saying people that entertain like myself, we talk about football, people, the cheerleaders, so on and so forth. And then you got the people that compete. This is him, Shedeur, the teammates, and so on and so forth. That's the way I break it down. I think a lot of people was reaching. It was a chance for critics or anyone to try to get in there and conquer and divide and make a big deal out of nothing. I didn't think it was a big deal. Obviously, I don't see too many people that would take a direct shot at their teammate like that. But if he did, man, he got some balls on him. But he seems like a good guy, man. Good guy, good, humble dude, ready to work. You know, the Hawaiian culture, they got good morals and values up there. So I don't see that in Dillon Gabriel. But if Dillon Gabriel flat out had earned the right to be the backup quarterback, I don't see any reason why the Browns wouldn't be quick to announce that Dillon Gabriel is the backup quarterback if he flat out earned their right. But because Shedeur Sanders threw a monkey wrench somewhere up in the plan, now they have to figure out different ways to distract the majority and the support and weigh their options of what they should do and how they should attack this situation. I hear people saying Shedeur Sanders is still 4th on the depth chart. I don't believe that. I'm still waiting to see. This dress rehearsal can still be competition to who will be the backup quarterbacks and so on and so forth. Kenny Pickett, I predicted this a long time ago. It hasn't came yet, but I still predict Kenny Pickett is the odd man out, in my opinion. You know, if they could get rid of Kenny Pickett right now, they would trade him as fast as I'm talking.
You know how he got there. You know how he got there, right?
Trade, right?
Howie Roseman.
Howie Roseman played it, but that's what I'm saying, man. It's like Howie Roseman knows when to get rid of some of these players and with his time, man. And it's like these teams just eat it right up, man. How he traded him, huh? Oh, man. But, yeah, Kenny Pickett has to be the odd man out because it wouldn't make any sense to trade any of the rookie quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. Because, anybody got a guess? Why wouldn't you trade any of these rookie quarterbacks? And I see somebody's in the chat. I see Marlon and it Ain't No Manual talk about saying Joe Flacco's 8 games and 7 games. Oh, man. If he goes that many games, I'm going to have to buy y'all a drink. But why wouldn't it be smart, or why wouldn't a team decide to trade any of their rookie quarterbacks in their rookie season? Why? Anybody got a guess? Why wouldn't that be smart?
That was their job to draft him, and that's who they picked.
Basically.
They named the line on that.
Basically. Kind of, you know. If you traded one of these rookie quarterbacks could possibly be a Hall of Fame or All-Pro. And you just don't know yet. So trading them without giving them a full season to develop or see what they can do would be a miscarriage of justice to this organization. So trading them is a little risky, right? They got to give Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur a chance to develop, to see how comfortable they are with one of these guys being the starter for this team. Because next year is the NFL draft. And they still have to see how they feel about all these rookies. Everybody has to be evaluated. And right now, all these quarterbacks are competing, and they're competing to stop the Browns from thinking stop the Browns from thinking they need to draft another quarterback next year. That's what everybody's playing for, if they realize it or not. You know? And like I said, I think we will find out who the official backup is next preseason, or maybe the first game of the season, of the regular season. Whoever Kevin Stefanski names the backup in this dress rehearsal finale will give us a good indication who will be the backup. Everybody's waiting to see who takes over, man, at quarterback when Joe Flacco is done in this game. It's going to be all eyes on this game waiting. That moment. Who retrieves? Who relieves Joe Flacco?
Even with both of them on the bench, they say both of them on the bench for the whole season. I feel like it's going to bring a lot of attention to the Browns every single week. Like, it's going to be questions asked every single week with both of them on the bench. People want to know what's going on. People are going to be screaming. You already know the people who name are going to be screaming to get in the game, especially if they start off 1-5, starting off 2. Like, probably 0-1 at the 0-1.
The media circus, the train is going to always continue.
The Browns might get the most attention they ever got.
Has a bad game, they're going to be calling, what about the rookie? What about Dylan Gabriel? What about Shedeur Sanders? Joe Flacco is washed up. He's old. There's going to be all this noise being screamed left and right. I don't think they're
ready for this. I don't think the Browns ready for the season.
No, I don't think they ever had to deal with something like this. This is probably the most media coverage they had since they moved the teams to different cities or something like that. Now, let me say this. As an offensive coordinator, professional football player, let me put on my offensive coordinator thinking cap, right? As an offensive coordinator, to see one of my quarterbacks competing for the job make 2 turnovers, along with having no touchdowns, will be a little discouraging for me as a coach to say this guy won the job. and the other guy didn't throw in any interceptions, and also had two touchdowns. You know, those turnovers for the offensive coordinator are very, very discouraging. Turnovers kills the game, along with the drives and so on and so forth. So that's the last thing an offensive coordinator want to see from their quarterback, whether it's the balls fall on the ground, can't grab the snap from the center, or throwing interceptions. And the Browns can't hide the fact that they drafted Dylan Gabriel first out of the quarterbacks in the 3rd round, and Shador second in the 5th round. And that is hunting them right now, presently, in real time. That is hunting them. That is hunting them down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Isaiah Bond, the new signing, man, from the new University of Texas to the Cleveland Browns. Man, this is a big-time signing, man. He would have been a legit 2nd or 3rd rounder if he wasn't accused of some craziness, right? I like this pick right here, and he's going to help his offense a lot. He brings a lot of youthfulness to the receiver position, to the receiver group, as well as some well-needed speed out there. Expect him to contribute a lot in his first season with the Browns, after the Browns signed him to basically, like, they was drafting him in the 2nd or 3rd round, giving Isaiah Bond pretty much a 3rd round contract, fully guaranteed, besides the signing bonus. The only thing he is missing is that signing bonus. Only thing he is missing. That's the only thing he is missing. Let's check him out. It says, with the charges behind him, Bond quickly looked to sign with the NFL team, and the first one that came knocking on his door were the Cleveland Browns. Based on the guaranteed money in his contract, the Browns are clearly enamored with his talent. At $3.018 million, Bond is getting more guaranteed money than the top pick of the 3rd round. There is Alexander, the defensive tackle who was taken by the Giants, has just $1.56 million in contract guarantees. Although Bond has more guaranteed money in his deal, his total compensation won't come close to the matching Alexander, who has a deal worth $6.76 million. So, see the significance in this situation right here? If these teams see that you are talented, and there's a lot of craziness coming out and taking these football players and athletes down, and teams and general managers got to start to see right through this. You know that this is a play, man, for these dweebs to try to get some money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get it twisted, man. I don't know if everybody's just caught up in this quarterback saga and things like that. The Cleveland Browns are a good team. And they're a good team because of their defense. Their defense can get the job done. Their defense can lead them to the playoffs. A good quarterback is the only thing that is holding this team back, and what's been holding this team back for years. So they're trying to fill this void and figure it out. But the Cleveland Browns is a good team. And just like Andy Reid does with the Chiefs, the Browns are starting to sign these bad boys. These bad boys. Hey, these bad boys is making these teams good, man. So we'll see how this play out, man. We're gonna continue to watch Shador Sanders and the Cleveland Browns coming up when they play Saturday. Who are they playing next? I can't remember, but we're gonna be tuned in. Mm-hmm. But Caleb Williams, man, did y'all see Caleb Williams' performance in the Chicago Bears? Everybody is ramping and raving over Caleb Williams' performance. Wow. The Chicago Bears are back. That's what everybody's saying.
They back.
Everybody's saying the Chicago Bears are back because of, obviously, the number 1 pick who they drafted, Caleb Williams. But when you come to say what needs to be said, I may not agree with everyone else. My perspective may not be the same. Now, don't get it twisted. Caleb Williams looked great for a series or 2 against the Bills. And I could see he has everyone fooled. Everybody is fooled thinking the Bears are back because Caleb Williams looked good for a series or 2. Yeah, he has y'all fooled. I ain't gonna lie. Caleb was out there striking. He was out there striking the other night in the game against the Bills, right? Now, after that 5 to 10 play script in the first series, that second series, and things started to calm down, and that fatigue started to sit in. And Williams wasn't executing as he was in the first 5 plays, the first couple plays. You know, it's a script. It's all a script. Caleb Williams has showed signs that he can be an elite quarterback, but he isn't consistent with his elite play. That's the difference. You can play elite in spurts, but how consistent can you be with your elite play, especially when the game is on the line and your team needs a play? Is your consistency at a high percentage at that point? Because Caleb Williams, he will do some great things on the field. Then he had you scratching your head.
That's my thing with Caleb Williams, man. Caleb Williams can get the job done when everything's going smooth. He'll do the perfect job. But once some adversity hit, he's not that same quarterback. And that's my thing with Caleb Williams, man. I seen him like folding, and when it's time to be clutch, he don't come up clutch, and he misses opportunities to be that quarterback we need him to be. So that's my whole thing with Caleb Williams. Come out, score 0-0, the job down the field. He could do that.
Yeah.
Throw that one interception and get a little tough. You facing, you know what I mean? Then it might be a whole different Caleb Williams. I never seen him. That's one of my things in college. I never seen him win a big game in college. Last year they lost 7-8 straight games.
Now
I haven't seen him win a big game yet. So once I see him do that and handle those moments, I could change my mind, but my mind ain't changed yet.
What you just described and defined is what we call front runners. Caleb Williams to me is a front runner. He needs everything to be going perfectly right, and he's up. His energy is good. He's feeling good about the game, and so on and so forth. I don't know Caleb Williams personally, but to me, his body language comes off as an entitled athlete, maybe a little on the spoiled side, right? One of those athletes who you can't criticize or critique that much. You know, they'll tuck their tail and hit the wall, you know? Caleb Williams, he definitely has some elite skills throwing the football. He can do it as well as any other quarterbacks. And he can make defenders miss in their pocket, creating more time and lanes to throw the ball. But it takes more than just skills at quarterback. It takes more than just stats for quarterback. That's why I don't call a quarterback elite or great just because they have tons of stats. Quarterbacks need their teammates to believe in them. When it's third down, the defense need that confidence that you're going to consistently get them off the field. If you don't have that with your team in that camaraderie, man, it's going to be a lot of adversity within the team, a lot of fighting, a lot of disagreements, you know? Caleb Williams, offensive teammates need to know Caleb Williams is concerned with the little things. They need to understand he's worried about the little things. If coach says be to the meeting at 4 o'clock, he's there at 3:55, and he's never late. He's setting an example for everyone around him. These are the type of situations, or these are the type of characteristics the quarterback, the leader of the team, need to possess, especially around his teammates, so they can follow.
Right.
That's how we became champions, you know? And if he could feed that energy to his teammates, they will be pretty good. They would be pretty good. But on the other hand, this could be the issue, and I don't know, head coach Ben Johnson, it could be the problem. I don't know. I'm just saying, if head coach Ben Johnson is a player's coach and not a disciplinarian, Caleb Williams will never make it to that elite status. Being able to win Super Bowls and make it to the Super Bowl. He's going to continue to baby, and he will never grow because everyone, they cater to Caleb Williams.
Right.
Like I said, Caleb Williams is what I call that front runner. He needs everything to be going good to have success. As soon as the adversity hit, as soon as he get hit in his mouth, the offensive line didn't pick up the blitz, he goes to complaining.
Whole different player.
A whole different player. And that's not the sign of a champion, It's champions act a certain way. They walk a certain way. They command their team a certain way. It's not just about how athletic you are and you can throw the ball sideways and no look to the right. It's not about that. It takes more than that to be a quarterback, a championship quarterback. So, you know, he ain't fooling me. He got everybody else fooled out there thinking the Browns, the Bears
good.
are back. But I am not fooled, and I'm not falling for it.
He can throw that pretty ball, man. Make it look good.
yeah. That's what it is. He throw the pretty balls and got everybody's raving about his talent. But if y'all didn't know, clap it up for Cam Newton, man. Clap it up for Cam Newton. The good old brother Cam Newton, man. You know we got to give a shout out to the good old brother Cam Newton. Y'all see that right there? August 18th. What's today's date?
That's the day.
August 18th, 2025.
Woo.
Auburn Tigers are retiring the number 2 in honor of the good guy, the good old man, Cam Newton. Clap it up for Cam Newton out there. Y'all put some claps in the chat.
Shout out to Cam, man. Newton, definitely deserve that.
Yeah, is it deserved? Is it well deserved out there? I wanted to know. Y'all talk to me in the chat. Is it well deserved, or should the Auburn Tigers have passed on this honor for Cam Newton?
Man, he had some clutch games winning the championship, the last championship for Auburn football. So he definitely deserved it. And he had some clutch moments where they was losing, beating Alabama, beating the big time schools. Yeah. Man, in the SEC.
For real. Yeah. Cam Newton, man.
They ain't come close since.
Right. Cam Newton is he is one of the most dominant players in NCAA history. Cam Newton is one of the most dominant football players in NCAA history. He led the Auburn Tigers to an undefeated season and a national championship in one season. He did all that in one season. Cam Newton will be the 4th player in Auburn history to have his jersey retired. Auburn has a lot of tradition in football. This is a big accomplishment. It's a big honor. The 4th jersey. I mean, he's in company with likes of Bo Jackson. Everybody know Bo Jackson. The great Bo Jackson played baseball and football. Cam Newton. Man, if y'all don't know about Cam Newton's history and what he had to go through, Cam Newton deserves, and he has the right to act how he act and talk how the way he talk. And you know, he has the right to be critical as he is of football players and quarterbacks, so on and so forth, and have an opinion. Cam made it without any handouts. And like I said, behind a lot of adversity. They was trying to take his eligibility, all type of stuff. His track record shows he's a proven winner. To get to Auburn, Cam had to transfer from the University of Florida to a junior college. And that wasn't it. At the junior college, he had to lead them to the national championship. And then Auburn came knocking on the door and decided to sign him. And then guess what? He delivers a championship, a national championship for Auburn Tigers in just 1 year. If you can't understand dominance and greatness, man, this is it.
Taking out the big dogs along the way.
And then at the same time, he went to Carolina Panthers. There's debate about the team, the talent he had on the team and so on. But he led that team to a Super Bowl, right? They made it to the Super Bowl 1 year. Cam proved, man, he's a winner. But if his NFL career could have went as good as his college career, man, that Cam probably go down as one of the most dominant players ever, man. But shout out to Cam, man, on being selected as one of the 4 players in Auburn Tigers history to have his jersey retired, man. Definitely well deserved. But y'all let me know. Does Cam Newton go down as the most dominant player in college football history? I'm not asking about one of the most dominant players. I'm asking, does Cam Newton go down as the most dominant player in college history? Who dominated college football better than Cam Newton? You got
the person he backed up in Florida.
Who, Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
Tim Tebow dominated.
Oh yeah.
You got Peter Ward. You got Warwick Dunn. You got
Tebow.
Percy Harvey.
Who he backed up, man?
Huh?
I said, who he backed up, man? That's who. That's a crazy team. Just know they was on the same team. It's crazy.
They had a crazy team, right? They had a crazy team. But yeah, man, that's on Monday Night Vibes. We had to see Jayden Daniels. Hey, if anyone out there is a Bengals fan and you're thinking about betting on the Bengals, putting anybody on your fantasy team, listen, stay far, far, far away from the Bengals, especially that defense.
I saw somebody say Super Bowl earlier, Bengals Super Bowl. I don't know who said it. Somebody said
Bengals ain't coming nowhere close to the Super Bowl. That defense can't stop a high school offense. That junk looks horrible out there, man. That
18 yards a carry.
Man. Huh?
18 yards a carry. You never heard that in life.
18 yards a carry. I don't care if it's a preseason game. That is not an excuse. That is not tolerated. That is not acceptable ever in the NFL professional football field, man. That was terrible, man. And it's just so sad because this team, the Bengals team, came out there like, we're going to execute. We're going to come out game mode. We're going to show that we're ready for week 1. Just to have all that energy and your feelings to hurt. Now y'all feel like y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't going to never be shit. And yes, y'all look like shit. Monday Night Vibes, man. We're going to see y'all next time. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time. We